Hello, Moon to Moon. I'm creating a video episode for you so I can look into your eyes should you desire to really see me and really feel me speaking with more senses. I'm coming today to talk to you in a pure riff, emergently, on the topic of the compass of the present moment. I'm going to be tying a lot of different pieces together here, and I can't wait to see what happens. But it's got something to do with astrology as it is speaking through me and has been amplified from being with Emergence Astrology and its students for its first ever year of being. So many of you are aware that Emergence Astrology Year One, it has doors closing Friday night, the 20th, the summer solstice. We begin at the summer solstice in Year One. In Year Two, we begin with Leo season, and Year Three, when we get there in 2026, we'll be beginning in Virgo season, honoring the modalities of what each of these years represents. So Year One being the cardinal year, is initiating us into this 3-year journey where we have some idea of some plans, but we're also like really emergently experiencing this. Year two is the fixed year, where we're really rooting into all that came up and all that came forward from the entirety of 12 months through all signs together in year one. And then year three, I'm thinking of as the mutable year, where we really begin to pollinate and to disseminate and to teach and to make waves, to craft art out in the collective beyond our cohort, those of us who are in this program. If you've been paying attention to this promo, like if you've been listening to the last 3 episodes, you've been listening to participants who've all just completed year one. You've heard how many of them, some of them never intended to study astrology. Some of them have been studying astrology and giving readings for decades. All of them came into this space with a somatic yes, a yes that wasn't very logical. They felt, as they described, pulled into the space like a magnet. They just were like pulled into it. And it's a really fascinating thing to pause on that. Because, like, what's doing the pulling there? Is it me, Britton LaRue? It may seem like me. We have these ideas about promo, but I really see myself as a kind of siren, in the sense of I am using my voice to create a call, and it's sending out. It's sending out into the fields for those to see it who are meant to be here. But what's pulling them in is not me. What's pulling them in, well, that's very mysterious. How could I even begin to have an answer to that? That is for each of you who comes in to be wondering about, to be living into this question, to be curious about how it is that you're being pulled, what is pulling you. This is part of the mystery that we're exploring in this space, Because when you begin to really get connected in to a trust communication with that mystery, the guidance of your compass starts to get much more clear as you know the truth that you are constantly being guided. You are constantly being shown. The evidence is everywhere once you start to be paying attention to it. It's mysterious. I'm not sure exactly how these birds know how to be synchronistically speaking to us. It's a wild thing when someone sends you a text with a word in it, and somebody sent you somebody you were talking on the phone to use the word, and then you go out to dinner and like the barista, the waiter uses the word, and you're like, what's going on? Emergence comes through from the other side, and sometimes it comes through your channel as you are in an intuitive ritual space receiving this guidance because you opened up your channel wide for it. These are things we practice in year one. Or maybe it's coming through the birds, like literally you begin to realize that this emergent understanding that's helping you be with the present moment and helping you trust the compass of the present moment is coming through the animated world, through the non-human and the sentient beings that are all around you. And it's also coming through humans. Maybe it's coming through the people that inspire you, and you're inviting to breathe in what inspires you and allow it to support you in turning your heart, turning your knapsack towards that which is inspiring you, because that is also a signpost that's emerging in the moment to help give you direction. So it may sound like this super abstract or like fanciful dream that a space like this exists that is going to help you to be like walking around like an animated character in a Disney movie talking with the animated world. But it most surely is, I mean, it most surely is a fanciful dream that is also real. Because the vast majority of those who showed up to the spring salon in year one, because year one is divided between a hermitage and a spring salon, you know this if you've listened to the last few episodes. Those that made it through the hermitage to show up for the spring salon, they're all coming to year two because they get it. They took a leap. Like Britain's over there talking about this hermitage, like Britain's over there talking about making babies. Britain's talking about this huge emergent experiment that she's going on. And they said yes. And now they're coming back again. They didn't understand why they were saying yes, except it felt like a call. It felt like something that they couldn't ignore. And then that call was rewarded as they made it all the way through. So it's a fantastic thing. And I'm excited to see who comes in here in these last few days. My guess is if you're listening and you haven't enrolled yet, there's probably a lot that you're holding in terms of like the logical brain bringing in the reasons why this is not a good idea. That's what we do as humans. And there's intelligence to this. There's intelligence to our doubters. There's intelligence to the parts of us that just really want to be responsible and not sign up for a whole year-long commitment when we feel like we're already really overwhelmed, like we're already at low capacity. I completely get that. What I find to be true, if this is supportive, is that if you are being called in here, and this really, so thus this is a really resonant thing for you, like you are really being called here, you are meant to be here, that your world will constellate what you need to be able to be here, you know? Your world will start to constellate that which is going to support you, whether that's through other human beings, whether that's through abundant support, whether that's through something moving out of your life that was making it very difficult for you to feel like you had spaciousness. Moreover, what the hermitage does is it creates spaciousness. You create spaciousness. Shauna talked about this. She was going through the biggest change of her life, and this space became her anchor through that change. You create spaciousness for yourself here, which is then spaciousness that you will know how to create for the rest of your life when life feels constricted, when life feels contracted, when things feel hard. There are ways we magical beings, we humans who are magical, that's everyone, can have the capacity, have the skill set then to open space up for what really matters to us. And in a space like Emergence Astrology Year One, very few people are going to come in here and do everything that I offer. I think if you've been listening to the last few episodes, you've heard me already say again and again and again, what you're practicing here is the audacity and the self-trust. Those words are like interchangeable for me. Audacity is self-trust. Self-trust is audacity. In a world where we've been deeply shamed and invalidated in every direction. The self-trust to be like, this resonates, this does not resonate. This is what I have interest in, this is what I don't have interest in. This is what I have capacity for, this is what I don't have capacity for. And trusting that, like, as the wheel turns, we have different levels of capacity. And sometimes we may be in a season where we want to do these types of things from the container. And sometimes we want these other things from the container. And that's also like real life. Or sometimes we feel like being more internal, and sometimes we feel like being more external. Sometimes we feel like learning more in a kind of analytical way where we can like nerd out because the information is so interesting. That's really fun. And other times we're in a phase of life where we just want to close our eyes and go into a meditative state and just start receiving all of these beautiful insights and downloads and instructions to help us see how supported and guided we are in being here. And so in Year One, we have what I would say is an open eye curriculum, and we also have a closed eye part of the curriculum. And what I mean by that is that among the smorgasbord of things that you can play with, some of the things are open eye, as in you can be opening your eyes and like maybe multitasking while you receive this lovely thing that I've made for you, this teaching. Maybe with your eyes open, you're taking notes, but maybe you're just like letting it fall over you, trusting that you will receive what you're meant to receive from this teaching, and you don't have to receive it all at once. You don't have to process it all at once, and you don't have to make sense of it all at once. We're unlearning these things here. It is such a massive waste of time to try to be exhaustive. It's exhausting with our processing. Like, no, this isn't helpful. At an intuitive level, when you trust what sticks, what comes in, resonates, and holds to you, that's how you can very naturally and easily just Get what's for you and don't worry about the rest of it. It's shame that has us worrying about trying to get it all, or we're bad, or we're not getting our money's worth, or we're like shitty students at this. Oh, once again, I'm failing to like get everything out of something. Get everything out of something. This is all reprogramming here. We're reprogramming all of this, which isn't to say that you're not getting like richness, that you're not getting profound, profound wisdom from me and from within you. This isn't suggesting you aren't being deeply regrooved, rewired at such an embodied level of coming into this self-trust with yourself. But none of that has anything to do with like percent completion of material. There's like no relationship. None. You could get such profound material from doing one thing in the hermitage. It changes your life, puts you on a completely different pathway. Does that mean it wasn't worth it and you were a bad student? No. And this is how life is. This is how life is. So we're practicing for life here. We're practicing for life so that you can be a human being who, as the wheel is turning day to day, week to week, month to month, moon to moon, season by season, year after year, cycles to cycles, you are available to what is here now, helping you make the choices that are what is creating your path. And in this way, you are the compass. You are the compass. There's no finding your path. You're on your path already. The issue is that we don't trust ourselves as the path and the compass on the path. And so we are reweaving here, but I'm not doing it all. I'm creating the conditions for you to receive all of this through the mystery openings that are coming through for you. I'm helping you learn how to be approachable to this. I'm helping you unfurl so that you can be available for all of this magic, for all of this miraculousness. And this has consequences on our world. We are all deeply interconnected. Interconnectedness is like what we're learning here. We're so connected, but it's very difficult to serve the fullness of that interconnectivity when within ourselves we are in shame, we are being mean to ourselves, we are at war with ourselves, we're judging ourselves, we're silencing ourselves, we're being very mean to our sweetness, we're being mean to our bodies. And this inner situation that we all have, every one of us, is an ongoing repair project that then supports you in becoming more available to be bringing your voice out in a clear, congruent, potent way so that your you-ness can come through into the interconnected fields. Let's understand that voice has many meanings here, and we are engaging with all of them in emergence astrology. This is my defining space. Year one, year two, year three. This is what everything is leading you towards if you're interested in my work. Everything in my whole like suite of offerings is about voice, about different aspects of it. And here we're weaving all of it. So let's talk about this. There's the inner voice. The inner voice is a deep part of us. It activates in different places in our bodies. But we have inner information. And we go within to get it. We have to be able to go within in order to get it. And many of us grew up not being allowed to go within. Many of us grew up being required to mimic others. Many of us were taught to gaslight ourselves and just feel confused and not know which voice among the many voices in our heads is actually our true voice. Where's the me voice? And so learning how to hear inner information, which comes through, it can come through as visions, it can come through as actual like language, words. It can come through as felt, like as feelings that are giving you information, as feelings, not as words. Then there's also the information that can come through as just like a knowing. I just know this. These are all things that we're learning how to do in Emergence Astrology Year One over time. This takes time. Time is our precious gift, and it helps us really lay it down. Of really like, there's the voice. Where's the voice? There's the voice. And as that voice gets clearer for you, you're more readily able to make decisions. You're more readily able to speak your truth. You're more readily able to act in the world in congruence between your heart and your head. And that's another kind of voice. The voice that is your choices, the voice that is your actions, the voice that is your silences. Speech and speaking is not just an utterance out with your vocal cords. It's how you make choices all day long. It's how you move. It's how you navigate. That's all speech as well. It's what you choose to give your attention to. It's what you choose to revere. It's what you choose to follow as something that you're curious about. All of these things are speech. It's a powerful thing. What also fortifies you, there's the inner voice, and then there's the sense of a voice that's coming through from the other side. So this can happen. Any of you who've been in meditation where you've asked yourself to, you've asked for information to come in and you've been trained in learning how to be open to receiving information from it's mysterious. I can't pretend to be 100% sure. I don't have evidence, but that doesn't mean it's not true and real. When you begin to like really feel like you're here, this is the voice of a loved one on the other side, or this is the voice of the planet Venus. This is the voice of, who knows, your spirit guides that are with you all the time within an arm's reach, everywhere you go. They're there for you anytime you want to talk to them. Maybe it's the voice of like a quote unquote higher self, like some kind of larger self that has been watching you through many lifetimes, the you that travels between bodies in different time portals. And so what exactly that is not as important here as much as playing with the idea that there is guidance coming through and then allowing yourself to be open enough and approachable enough to receive it. And then as you practice that, so you grow trust in how much support there is coming through for you. And this is where astrology really comes in. Because, I never was really interested in being an astrologer doing astrology in quotes. What I was seeing is how astrology, when it's attuned to and spoken, facilitates a kind of interconnectedness between the other side, my body, my vibrating vocal cords, my belly that knows when I'm speaking true, the earth beneath me, and the animated networks of everything all around me, human and non-human, visible and invisible. And there was something about the way astrology was coming through that was like it's a connecting river. It's like a river that moves through the language between us and in us and through us and around us. And when we begin to speak it in this way as a kind of sacred code or a kind of sacred way showing language, it reveals things. Things emerge, knowings, feelings that weren't there before. And now we're seeing the bigger picture. And now we start to know the way. And since my astrology career began, I've been wanting to create a space for that to be like really loud and clear as what we're doing. And the first few astrology containers that I had, I taught 2 years of one called Charting Your Course. And in that class, I had a student who then became my teaching assistant and then became my co-facilitator, co-creator on another class called Astrology as Praxis. That was Jonathan Coe. So 3 different years, I tried getting closer to what it is that's wanting to come through. And those were extremely magical containers. Like, whoa, really powerful spaces. But I was not fully in my confidence and I was not fully in my self-trust that I could like trying to like wrangle the universe here. And as the steward, my process has been slowly noticing where I actually can refine with more and more allowing it to be you, the participant that is the magic maker. And how do I just create the conditions for your own magic to happen in a way where like you fucking know it was you. Like it's not me. Me trying to be the one who gets the magic and gets the like credit for the magic is like that has to be appropriate. To what extent can I be like, I'm so proud of myself? Like I'm going to feel more proud of myself the more I create the opportunity for you to be the receiver of your magic, of your own magic. So it's like unmistakable, you know? And I actually feel that that is the magic that I'm creating, you know? And it's really cool because it's just such an activation of all these parts of my chart. As a very Piscean 12th house person, this space is so vast. I mean, emergence astrology is so vast. Did you know there was this whole world? Like, oh my gosh, there is this whole world to dive into. Just like dive on in. Oh my God, we can really live like this. So my Piscean dream come true. And we're healing and like unshaming, and my voice is getting louder. And I like these people so much. And I'm becoming more decisive. And I'm setting boundaries with things that are harmful for me. I'm clearing these fucking distortions about myself. I'm loving myself. And I'm speaking up about this, what makes me angry. I'm not hiding that. God, fuck yeah, I'm participating in my life. Mhm. Yeah, it's about participating in your life. And so on the surface, you might be like a hermitage. Haven't you seen the world right now? Like, I need to be getting out in the world. Well, no, nobody said a hermitage is taking you out of this world. No, no. It is helping you to be more clear and potent and empowered when you participate in it. Like, we're bringing out the malefics here. Aries rising, Capricorn moon. Where are the edges? No, you know, no more. We are not doing this anymore. Like, everyone afraid, get behind me. Or no. A hermitage is what helps you understand where those lines are. A hermitage creates the scaffolding. So you're like, that's a deal breaker. This is going to be a no from me. So that has to be there, you know? We have to include, if we're honoring the intelligence of astrology, the malefics are part of this. The malefics, Saturn and Mars, and really the sun in many ways too. And through this deep embodiment of the language, you feel the edges. How do you know where your edges are if you don't create a cave, like to find out? Like for me, the hermitage is really about restoring yourself to the home that you are. And within that home, you can like create a fire and like really see like, this is me. This is what I like. Yes, validating, unshaming. I'm so glad that I'm here this lifetime as me. Get all my favorite things, decorate it just how I like. You can have company. What matters then is how you show up differently when you leave, you know? When you've created that space for yourself to really appreciate your principles, your values, to love yourself, to love being you. And you're growing this capacity to be more fortified in that and rooting it down, which is especially what year 2 is. We're rooting it down to the center of the earth. Then as you go out into the world, you are more fortified within yourself. So you're not taking this shit. And you're able to identify like, this energy is like not in affinity with me. Like, whoa, I know my energy so well. I'm sensing that I need to set some things up for myself to be careful around this type of energy because I don't like how this feels. And the hermitage provides you the space to grieve because you're going to need to know how to grieve and have rituals for grief and really treasure your grief so that you are not afraid to move through that when it is time to say goodbye to certain people, to certain habits, to certain ways of being, including old stories that kept you safe. Mm. Yeah. And so the compass of the present moment. Yeah, as your bodies become a home, by bodies, I mean your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spirit body, which you can connect to the elements of earth, water, air, and fire. As you create a home to be in deep connection to your many bodies and to allow them to talk to you. Unshaming allows these parts of you who have been afraid to be seen by the outside world and also by you at some level. It gives them an opportunity to come talk to you. So you have parts of you that you don't know even exist because they were entrained to hide. And so creating the hermitage space gives you a home for other parts of you to come out. And once again, the zodiac deeply supports you with this. It just happens and naturally. Like you don't have to try. It will just happen. And you are being given support for how to relate to these different parts of you that show up. As these different parts of you show up, they're really just wanting to be seen and validated. And that teaches you that you're allowed to take up as much space as you are. And you're not ever getting to a destination where you're healed, where you're totally unshamed, where like, looks like I'm liberated today. I'll never like have to do this healing stuff again, or I don't have to do these things. Well, first of all, when you cultivate a practice that you love, none of this is like disciplinary or drudgery. You want to do this. You want to. It feels good. It's fun. It's cool. It's it's like the opposite of working on yourself. We're not working on ourselves in here. I'm attuning to where I was. We're not working on ourselves. It went into the mists, the compass of the present moment. So, as the wheel is turning, as the wheel is turning and we move through the ebbs and flows of our lives, the relationship we begin to have with our charts is not so much the one we see so predominantly, where it's just like we want the chart to tell us what to do. We're often using the chart as an excuse for like why we've quote unquote failed, or like why we don't have things. Hoping the chart will give us predictions that we're excited about, and we're afraid that the chart's going to have some bad news. Like we see this out in the world. But from the perspective of being a compass of the present moment, what's mattering is what's coming up for me right now. and just listening. And to the degree that the chart supports us in that process, that is really beautiful. And also, we don't need our charts to listen to ourselves. But astrology as a larger language is very, very helpful at helping us listen to ourselves. In this space, we practice holding polarities. And one of those polarities is the polarity between, oh my God, charts are the most amazing things in this world, and like, oh, we don't need charts. They're both true. Just like when you have your compass on your path, you can say that sometimes you like deeply, deeply trust, and your whole life everything just feels like, I'm so trusting. And then infinity loop, you also can have moments every single day where you're like doubting it. You're doubting. And those are really important polarities, self-trust and self-doubt, for someone who's living emergently in the present moment. But when you remember that you have an inner voice, and you have an inner voice down below, that's in you, grounded with the earth. And you also have the upper voice, the voice of the sky above, the voice of the angels, shall we say, according to your cosmology, the voices of spirit guides that can come down from above into us with guidance. And then this vertical channel begins to help us be humans who are operating on a horizontal one. The horizontal plane being like interfacing with other human beings, moving along in your path, navigating by making choices, acting, speaking or not speaking. How are you choosing to live this day? That's moving through the horizontal plane, which is the thing that we're doing here. This is the thing that we're doing. Hello, Earth. We came to walk around on the earthly plane. However, we also have this incredible vertical channel. And that channel from below us to above us is constantly supporting us and getting information. And then we can start to see it as it's active in the beings on the horizontal plane, like aforementioned birds, and like when powerful words are coming out of the people who you love, the people who inspire you, even the people who drive you crazy. So, how does that sound? There's actually like an extremely practical aspect of doing this, which is rooted in, how do you want to participate here? How do you want to participate in your life here? What would you like it to feel like for you? Everything I teach is about this. This is the only space that's a year, 2 years, 3 years long. This is like the big deal. This is the big deal space. And the doors are only open once a year. We have to start with Cancer. That is just how it has to be done. And we will begin on the summer solstice. Everything for the first 9 months is asynchronous. So you're in charge of your time. You got a busy Cancer season? No problem. Just be light touch in Cancer. Come in a little stronger in Leo. This is how life is. This is how life is. There's no doing it wrong, except to do it in a way where you shame yourself. If you come in here and you're like, whoa, I don't think that this is for me, or I don't think I'm in a time of life for this. I don't have refunds in this class. However, you can just do the payment plan, and after 3 months, you can just leave. Like, as long as you let me know before the first trimester ends, well, you can just unenroll. It's not a big deal. Like, normally I'm not cool with that, but this is such a brave space and such a particular space, such a self-leading space. This is a leadership space, that it's not a big deal. Just go. you know? It's okay. It's not for you. If you get past that point and you realize like life is just happening in a way that, I mean, you just feel like, no, but Britain, I'm really just not engaging with this at all. But I really love the promise of this. I'm really sad about that. Then an option is we can just put you in the next group. Like you can just step back, don't worry. We'll put you in the 2026 crew and you don't have to repay for it all again. You'll just have paid whatever you've paid so far. And then another thing that I've decided to add that I'm just now mentioning, and I still need to put it up on my different verbiage spaces, is that you do pay more if you do the payment plan. This is like built-in protection for the fact that you could just not finish with us, you know? Pay in full discount is like, thank you. It feels really good to me to get paid in full. And I like to say thank you for paying in full with a discount. However, if you get all the way through, when you get all the way through, and when you want to go to year two, like the folks who were participated in the spring salon, you can have that difference deducted from the year two tuition so that you can have paid the same amount as those who paid in full upfront. Because many of you, I understand, you know you're going to finish the year. It's not that you're not all in. It's just that you really can't pay in full upfront. I understand. That's what I'm going to do for you. If you know you're going to year two and on, then you can get that $300 difference taken off of year two when you enroll in year two next summer. I think that that's about it. Let me just feel into there was anything else I was going to say. I think that that's good. Yeah, I'm so excited to see who comes in here at the end. My doors closing kink folks. That's how I am. I always sign up for things on the very last day. It's just kind of like a little dance I do. So I totally appreciate those who are the same way as I am. Thank you so much. If you are loving Moon to Moon, please rate and review the podcast. It helps folks find me. I personally, you probably too, like you look at reviews. That's part of how you determine how you want to give your time and make a choice there. So it would really support the podcast if you're really glad that you found it. Maybe a review helped you. I would appreciate it if you would do the same for future listeners who are landing on Moon to Moon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.